आज की इस वीडियो में आपको फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के हवाले से बताऊंगा। फ्रीक्वेंसी इज हाउ ऑफ्टन समथिंग अकर। फ्रीक्वेंसी जो है ये किसी भी चीज़ के कितनी दफ़ा होने के हवाले से है। द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ ए पार्टिकुलर ऑब्जर्वेशन इज़ द नंबर ऑफ टाइम द ऑब्जर्वेशन अकर इन द डेटा। किसी भी डेटे में एक ऑब्जर्वेशन कितनी दफ़ा आ रही है उसको हम क्या कहते हैं? फ्रीक्वेंसी कहते हैं। डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ ए वेरिएबल इज द पैटर्न ऑफ फ्रीक्वेंसीज ऑफ द ऑब्जर्वेशन। ये पैटर्न है, तरतीब है जिसमें किसी भी वेरिएबल की जो डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो रही होती है, तकसीम हो रही होती है। अब फ्रीक्वेंसी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या है? It is a representation either in a graphical or tabular format which displays the number of observations within a given interval. Frequency distributions are usually used within a statistical context. Frequency distribution tables. A frequency distribution table is one way you can organize data so that it makes more sense. Frequency distributions are also portrayed as frequency tables, histograms, or polygons. Frequency distribution tables can be used for both categorical and numeric variables. The intervals of frequency table must be mutually exclusive and exhaustive. Continuous variables should only be used with class intervals. By counting frequencies, we can make a frequency distribution table. Following example will figure out the procedure of construction of frequency distribution table. For example, let us say you have a list of IQ scores for a gifted classroom in a particular elementary school. The IQ scores are 118, 123, 124, 125, 127 to 154. The list does not tell you much about anything. You could try a frequency distribution table which give you a better picture of your data than a sample list. Step 1. Figure out how many classes, categories you need. There are no hard rules about how many classes to pick, but there are a couple of general guidelines. Pick between 5 and 20 classes. For the list of IQs above, we picked 5 classes. Make sure you have a few items in each category. For example, if you have 20 items, choose 5 classes. 4 items per category, not 20 classes, which would give you only 1 item per category. Step 2. Subtract the minimum data value from the maximum data value. For example, the IQ list above had a minimum value of 118 and a maximum value of 115. So 154 minus 118 is equal to 36. Step 3. Divide your answer in 2 steps by the number of classes you choose in step 1. स्टेप 2 का जो आपका आंसर है उसे आपने तकसीम करना है। जो आपका आंसर है, जो नंबर ऑफ क्लासेस आपने चूज किए स्टेप 1 में, 36 डिवाइडेड बाय 5 इज इक्वल टू 7.2. राउंड. स्टेप 4. राउंड द नंबर फ्रॉम स्टेप 3 अप टू होल नंबर टू गेट द क्लास विड्थ. जो आपका आंसर आ रहा है उसको आप क्या करें? राउंड अप कर लें। जो 3 स्टेप का आपका आंसर आ रहा है तो उसको होल नंबर तक ले जाएं जिससे आपको क्लास विड्थ मिल जाएगी। 7.2 का क्या मतलब है? इट बिकम्स 8। स्टेप 5, राइट डाउन योर लोएस्ट वैल्यू फॉर योर फर्स्ट मिनिमम डेटा वैल्यू। फिर उसके बाद सबसे जो छोटी वैल्यू है आपके डेटा में से उसको लिखें। द लोएस्ट वैल्यू इज 118। स्टेप 6, add the class width from step 4 to step 5 to get the next lower class limit. 118 plus 8 is 126. Repeat step 6 for the other minimum value, data value. In other words, keep on adding your class width to your minimum data values until you reach the number of classes you chosen in step 1. We choose 5 classes, so our 5 minimum data values are 118, add 8, 126, then add 8, 134, add 8, 142, then add 8, 150. Step 8. Write down the upper class limits. There are the highest values that can be in the category. So in most cases, you can subtract 1 from class width and add that to the minimum data value. For example, 118 plus 8 minus 1 is equal to 125. 118 minus 125 to 118 to 125, 126 to 133, 134 to 142, 143 to 149, and 150 to 157. Step 9. Add a second column for the number of atoms in each class and label the columns with appropriate heading IQ number. 118 to 125 and 126 to 133, 134 to 142, 143 to 149, 150 to 157. Step 10. Count the number of atoms in class and put the total in the second column. The list of IQ scores are 118 to 154. IQ number 118 to 125. These are the IQ numbers. A survey was taken in लाहौर में एक सर्वे किया गया है in each of 20 homes जिसमें 20 जो हैं वो घर थे. People were asked how many cars were registered to their households. लोगों से पूछा गया कि उन्होंने कितनी कारें जो हैं वो उनके स्टेशन करवा रखी है. The result was recorded as, जो रिजल्ट था वो इस तरह का था 1 2 1 0 3 4 0 1 1 1 2 2 3 2 3 2 1 4 0 0. Use the following steps to present this data in a frequency distribution table. इसका frequency distribution table में इसको डेटा को ज़ाहिर करने के लिए क्या तरीकाकार है. Divide the results into intervals. जो results हैं उनको intervals में divide कर लें. And then count the number of result in each interval. और number of result मालूम कर लें हर interval में. In this case इस तरह the interval would be number of household with no car, 0 with 1 car, 1 with 2 cars, 2, and so forth. Make a table with separate columns for the interval number, the number of cars per household. एक घर के पास कितनी कारें हैं इसके हिसाब से हमने इंटरवल नंबर बनाने हैं. The tallest result and the frequency of the result in each interval. Label these columns number of cars, tally, and frequency. Read the list of data from left to right and place a tally mark in the appropriate row. For example, the first result is a 1. So place a tally mark in the row beside where 1 appears in the interval column number of cars. The next result is a 2. दूसरा रिजल्ट है 2 है, सो place a tally mark in the row beside the 2 and so on. When you reach your fifth tally mark, draw a tally line through the preceding 4 marks to make your final frequency calculations easier to read. Add up the number of tally marks in each row and record them in final column entitled frequency. An analyst studying their data might want to know not only how long batteries last, but also what the proportion of the batteries fall into each class interval of the battery life. This relative frequency of a particular observation or class interval is found by dividing the frequency f by number of observation n, that is f divided by n, then thus relative frequency is equal to frequency divided by number of observations. The percentage frequency is found by multiplying each relative frequency value by 100. Thus, percentage frequency is equal to relative frequency multiply 100 is equal to f divided by n multiply 100.